Alright guys, so it looks like Republican congressmen want to pass a law which would essentially allow the DEA probably to randomly drug test people who are applying to be recipients of unemployment. Now, I think I've made it very evident my thoughts on drug testing. I think it's unconstitutional. I think it violates someone's right to privacy. But for the sake of this video, and for the sake of making arguments, we'll just go with the fact that I think drug testing is constitutional. Let's look at this in further detail. Many states have implemented policies like this, and I think, a half decade ago, people passed the law that would essentially allow the DEA to drug test would-be welfare recipients. And of all the data that we've collected from the statewide and welfare federally wide, well, the welfare drug test program only caught one person. And on a state level, it's looking as if people who are, surprise, surprise here, people who are in a lower income bracket or literally aren't having an income coming in at all are less likely to abuse substances. Now, I think it's based on a faulty stereotype that poor people seek out drugs. Now, you could probably make a racially charged argument that this would disproportionately affect black people, but since I think that might be a little bit racist too, I'm going to refrain from using that type of argument. But I can argue that this is based on a faulty stereotype, and not only is it based on a faulty stereotype, it's also allowing more government control, and it's also allowing you, basically, to have your money pissed away. It's just a waste of money. Because after all this data we've observed, where people aren't doing drugs at a lower income level, which would probably be common sense. I'm thinking the only people who would use drugs that are dirt poor are probably people from middle class households who got addicted to a substance, and as a result of their drug addiction, their life is totally ruined, so they have to go around committing, petty robbery, armed robbery, carjacking, stealing things out of cars to get money to fuel their addiction. So in essence, people who have pretty much ruined their lives via drug addiction. But it's just wasting your money based on a stereotype. And where does the stereotype come from? When did we start accusing poor people of taking substances? Poor people aren't taking substances. They want to fucking eat. This is the whole point of this. They want to eat. People in middle class households are taking drugs. People in the upper echelon of society are taking drugs. I'm sure a lot of these Congress people are probably taking a lot of drugs. And since they get kickbacks, they don't ever get drug tested, nothing ever becomes of it. You hear a few little scandals here and there internationally with some big head politician, but really nothing ever materializes out of it. So because of this conspiracy theory, our tax dollars are being wasted to drug test people who probably aren't using drugs in the first place, and are wanting to just live and trying to find a job. And I think this also totally disregards that large swaths of the inner city are on some type of social benefit program, because most of the jobs have left, and nobody wants to set up shop there because of the high crime rate, because poverty breeds crime. So it's disproportionately affecting inner city people in urban environments that don't really have access to good working jobs and probably have to drive 30 minutes out of the fucking city to at least find a job. So they're probably wasting their money on gas just to work, if they even have a car at all. and I'm sure they probably have to pay for this drug test sometimes. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about it. Until next time.